earlier, je lui fais nettoyer la voiture, because I make him clean something. His cleaning has got an object, so therefore it's going to be lui rather than le. But let's not worry about that again at the moment. We've already talked about that. Let's say if we said I make him clean the car, I make Luc clean the car, je fais nettoyer la voiture à Luc. So in other words, it's going the other way around. The way you need to think about it is the person that you made do something is going on the end of the sentence, if you're using their name or a noun, if you're not using a pronoun. So I made him clean the car, je lui ai fait. Am I doing present tense or past tense? I make him, let's say I make him present tense. Je lui fais nettoyer la voiture. Fine, use a pronoun at the beginning. Use a pronoun at the beginning. Je lui fais nettoyer la voiture. I make Luc clean the car, je fais nettoyer la voiture à Luc or par Luc. Both would be used. And notice they come right at the end of the sentence, and that is really, really weird. I accept that for the English speaker that is weird. Okay? It's kind of like you've got to get in the fais. You get yourself in first, then you get in the fais, then you've got to get in the verb that comes after the fais, whatever it is you're making someone do. Then, if necessary, you come in with the recipient. So that basically means that you're coming in with the thing that ultimately gets touched by the verb. And then, if necessary, you're coming in with the agent. You're coming in with the person that actually did your shit for you. So, for example, I make my assistant, and let's make him a male assistant, send the letter. Okay? So, je fais envoyer la lettre, je fais envoyer la lettre à mon assistant, or je fais envoyer la lettre par mon assistant. Okay, so that's how we would do it. If you then said I make him send the letter, because I'm making someone do something to something else, I've got an agent and a recipient, I am going to use lui, not le. So je lui fais envoyer la lettre. Now, some of you might have already predicted this. What if you wanted to make the letter a pronoun as well? I made him send it. So the je fais envoyer la lettre à Luc. Now that's not sending the letter to Luc. Yeah? That means I'm making Luc send the letter, okay? If it was I wanted to make him send the letter to Luc, okay, you'd have heard that because you'd have had someone else in the sentence as well as Luc being the destination. So if you said I make him send the letter, I make him send the letter. Je lui fais envoyer la lettre. Je lui fais envoyer la lettre. I make Luc send the letter. Je lui fais envoyer la lettre. I got the letter sent by Luc. Je fais envoyer la lettre par Luc. Par Luc there would be kind of slightly less confusing because it wouldn't then give the idea of sending the letter to someone. So that would be kind of good. But if I wanted to replace the word letter and the word him in the sentence, so je fais envoyer la lettre par Luc. I got the letter sent by Luc. Je fais envoyer la lettre par Luc. If I want to shorten the letter, I'm going to shorten it to a la, because it's a direct object. And if I want to shorten the person I got to do it, they will become the indirect object. So we will end up with je la lui fais envoyer. Now you might go, oh my god, that's really weird, but you use la lui loads in other examples in French. I give it to her. If we're talking about a female rose, je la lui donne. Yeah? So all of this is slightly confusing. I accept this. Okay? And quite rare in a weird kind of a way, but still worth learning. So useful terms, although I don't particularly use them to teach with myself, is the notion of the subject is the person doing the verb. Then you're going to have faire and then your second verb in the infinitive. Notice that faire could be in any tense. You know, I will make him send the letter. Je lui ferai envoyer la lettre. I used to make Luc send the letter. Je faisais envoyer la lettre à Luc, whatever. So you've got the person, if necessary, a pronoun before it, but it might not be. It might be a name. Then the verb faire. Then the infinitive. Either straight away into your recipient, as in the thing getting the verb done to it. Okay, and then if possible, if necessary, on the end of the person that you chose to do that. Okay. Or the other way around, you could basically not have a recipient, not have an agent. You could not have a recipient and just have an agent. I made him work. Okay. There's no I made him work the fields or something. So all of this is quite advanced, and this is why I said if you wanted to stop watching this video earlier, you'd be more than welcome. But how do we basically use this in an everyday way? What's this going to do for you? It really does come down to the fact that you are going to focus most of the time on sentences that you're just going to need to decide between lui and between le, la, les, and lui and leur on. So let's just do some examples. I make her dance. She's lazy, she doesn't want to dance, but she's very talented. I make her dance. There's no, after the verb that you make someone do, is there another object after that? No. It's not like I make her dance, you know, the waltz, you know. So I make her dance, je la fais danser. Je la fais danser. I make her sing. Je la fais chanter. Je la fais chanter. I make her sing the song. Je lui fais chanter la chanson, because after the verb chanter there is the possibility of there is the song. There's another direct object. Chanter la chanson. I make him write. Je le fais écrire. Je le fais écrire. I make him write the letter. Je lui fais écrire la lettre. Okay? You can use faire and faire. You can, I mean, let's not be doubt. You can use faire and faire. I make him do the work. Je lui fais faire le travail. Je lui fais faire le travail. Yeah? I make Luc do the work. Je fais faire le travail à Luc ou par Luc. Je fais faire le travail par Luc. Je fais faire le travail à Luc. Both work. I make him do it. Je le lui fais faire. I swear to God. I swear to God. The le would be representing the work, the it, the lui would be representing the to him. Because ultimately in the sentence, you might be making him do something. It comes down to this. Some French brains feel that when you're making someone do something, that the person is, it's like you're making them. So they're the thing being made. And other people sort of go, you're only ever really sort of extending your make to them, and you're getting them to do something. So the result of the sentence, the end product of the sentence, is whatever shit they've done. Okay? So quite complicated, but can I remind you that we do this all the time in the reflexive. Okay? To finish, big video, I did tell you. I get my hair cut. Now, people will often say, ouais, je me suis coupé les cheveux. But that literally means I cut my own hair. It's reflexive for a start. Now, these things can be reflexive or not. I mean, in the case of the reflexive element of I got my hair cut, you could say I got Luke's, I got John's haircut. It could be, you know, I got my son John's haircut. You could do exactly the same thing. You know, j'ai fait couper les cheveux. Yeah, I got, you know, or j'ai fait couper ses cheveux, or je lui ai fait couper les cheveux. You know, whatever. But the fact is, if you were saying I got my haircut, je me suis fait couper les cheveux, you are doing exactly the same thing. So you've got je me suis, it's just reflexive there because it's happening to myself. Or present tense then, let's do the present tense before you panic. So I get my haircut. Je me fais couper. Now what do I always say about these? The verb needs to come after the faire. The infinitive needs to come after the faire. Je me fais couper. Yeah, and then the recipient, the thing that's ultimately being touched by the verb, is les cheveux. Je me fais couper les cheveux. Okay? If it was I got my hair cut by, you know, Lucy, now that would actually kind of resemble the English anyway, if you used par. Je me fais couper les cheveux par Lucy. But in theory, if it was I got Lucy to cut my hair, you could quite as well say je fais, you know, je me fais couper les cheveux à Lucy. You know, it could, or je fais couper les cheveux à Lucy. You know, you could you could do both. So in other words, we're quite used to doing this. I got arrested. Je me suis fait arrêter. I didn't do the arresting. I didn't arrest myself. I got myself arrested through my own behaviour. Je me suis fait arrêter, okay? So all of that is something to go away and have a look at. It's called the causative, C-A-U-S-A-T-I-V-E. It's your verb is having a cause and effect on someone else, okay, and getting them to do something else. It's basically getting someone to do your crap for you. Delegating. But when you delegate, you can either get someone to do something or you can get someone to do something to something else in language. And all we are saying is that although it is incredibly common to say le, lay with a faire, if you've got a cheeky little object on the end of the sentence, remember to use the indirect. So to go back to our original kind of examples, I make them visit the museum, yeah, as opposed to I made them go to the museum. So the museum is cropping up in both, but what's the difference between the two? It's one of them is making them visit the museum, okay, so that's direct. Side note, you can't use visit with a person, you have to use rendre visite. And the other one is I make them go to the museum, which is not a direct object. It's just I make them go, preposition to the museum. So I make them go, je les fais aller au musée. Je les fais aller au musée. I make them visit the museum. Je leur fais visiter le musée. If all of this is above you, whatever, don't worry about it. Really, really don't. Just say a sentence like, the kids, they went to the museum because I said I wanted to go. I mean, whatever. Les enfants, ils sont allés, in this case, elles sont allées au musée parce que je leur ai dit que je voulais aller. I mean, there's loads of ways around this. It's just to start you thinking about that. Final note, as I've said earlier in the video, it is not the only way of doing it in French. Yeah, you've got other sentences that kind of, I encourage them, I force them, I oblige them, I suggest to them, je leur ai proposé d'aller, whatever. There's other ways of doing this. Inciter, yeah, incited, There are other ways of doing this, all right? But it's just if you really want to stick religiously to the English, I made someone do something. I made someone do uses le, la, les. I made someone do something uses lui and leur. Long ass video. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was useful. Like I said, I will pop some other links up underneath in the description, just if you want to read some of the examples, but don't get weighed down, all right? Take care. If you found this video useful, do please subscribe, do please remember me, do please click like, and by all means I have a Kofi account if you would like to buy me a coffee. All right, take care.